Patchy Oliva. Let's talk to these people a little bit. They want to get to know you, man. First of all, welcome to Okay Beatz Radio Show.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Or should I say welcome back? Because you ain't new here.
I don't know. I've been here for a minute, right? It's been years now.
We got an album out.
Yeah, Rapture. We got Rapture out right now on all platforms.
Patchy Oliva, Rapture.
The first official album right there by Patchy Oliva, out on all streaming platforms. You know, I got a lot of music out there, but this one's the first legit one, Rapture. 2019. You know, what was it? Ushering in the coronavirus just in time for Rapture. You know,
There was the summer before Corona, word.
Yeah, literally, as soon as we dropped it, like five, six months later, Corona happened. I know. It's crazy, bro. Rapture came out just in time. And now I feel like this album that's coming out now, Message from the Olive Grove, is like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, I'm kind of shining light on certain things in the industry, you know, like with that one song, like Worship, you know what I'm saying, on Rapture. Like, you know, I feel like I'm shining a lot of light on some dark stuff in the industry, but as well, like with this album, I want to kind of share more of the truth, share more of like a little bit more of the solutions, a little bit more of the peace, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like right now, everyone in this world is just like, you know, going bonkers, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's anxious, everybody doesn't know what to do, everyone's kind of confused and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like with this album, I just want to kind of drop a few tracks that kind of say, like, you know, sit still, you know, take a breath for a second, you know what I'm saying? I recognize there's people out in the streets right now, like, rioting, and, you know, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, you know, so it's like, just show them that you acknowledge that, you know what I'm saying? I want to show people that I acknowledge what's going on in the world with this album. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, I plan on speaking up about it. At the same time, with my music, I want to kind of, you know, release, you know, like kind of my walk, you know what I'm saying, from the beginning of where I was, you know what I'm saying, with God, to like where it led me to finding you and like dealing with Rapture and like, you know, it's all going to come to light, but I kind of, you know, just have to, you know, let people know who I am first, you know, a little bit who I was, actually, not who I am, because now this music's old, you know what I'm saying? People are listening to this music now, and they're like, ooh, you know. But this thing has been out, you know what I'm saying? This thing, you know, you're listening to the old me, but, you know, I plan on catching people up a little bit with this new album. Message from the Olive Grove. And I got people out there, ooh, wait until they hear this. It's nasty.
Cool. All right, so we're going to get into that a little bit more, but until then, let me ask you a couple of general questions real quick, man, if you don't mind.
For sure.
So we could get to know you more as an artist and as a person. You know, where you from? How does that affect your work?
I'm from Miami, Florida. It affects my work just because I got two sides of my family. I got like the ghetto side, born in the ghetto, gangster, like street type, and then I also
They're from Miami too?
Yeah, from Miami, all from Miami, Carroll City.
What nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Puerto Rican and Cuban. Yeah. So this is your Cuban side or your Puerto Rican side that's on in Miami?
Yeah, the more ghetto side of my family is the Puerto Rican side. The more like gospel loving side is more of my Cuban side. You know what I'm saying? So
which is like, where? Where are they located?
They're all in Florida as well. So
okay.
Most of them are in Florida as well. Actually, most of my Cuban family is all in Florida. The only people I got outside of Florida are Puerto Rican family, which is like cousins and
gotcha.
You know, stuff in New York, you know, New Jersey, and you know, and you know, yeah. So I mean, it's just kind of weird because I kind of grew up with both sides, like, you know, the secular music and the gospel music. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like trying to find that balance about what I relate to more, and you know, I kind of relate to both because I've seen both sides. You know what I'm saying? I was heavy into one side, and then, you know, God radically saved my life. You know what I'm saying? To now being part of this side and getting in touch with more of my family that do gospel now, who I really never spoke to in a while. You know what I'm saying? Because I was super tied in with my Puerto Rican side, you know, and just being out there, you know. And now it's like, now late in life, now that I'm 30, I'm finally getting in touch with family on my Cuban side, you know what I'm saying? Because they were just more like, you know, gospel and just kind of very reserved. They weren't like come to every family get together type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like every barbecue, they wasn't really doing that. So now that I'm a gospel and you know, I really want to seek that walk with God, you know, I've been really reaching out to them to kind of, figure out, like, ask them questions, because they've been doing it a long time, you know what I'm saying? And it's also kind of like a way to start up that relationship with them,
So that's pretty yin yang, like your ghetto side of the family, which is who probably mostly inspired the hip hop part of your music.
100%.
And then you got the total opposite extremes, your Cuban side, which are religious.
Yeah.
And that's where your religion is most strongly at. So you got the street side. You've been street. Grew up street in Miami
100%.
with your Puerto Rican side, but you've always known about this mysterious religious side, the Cubans.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you just all of that in a bunch, pretty much.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
100%.
dope, man.
It's been crazy, and that's like where I have to like kind of, I don't want to be a hypocrite, you know what I'm saying, as well, like, because I did dabble in that secular life for so long, you know what I'm saying, like, and it's been a part of me, you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't dip into that, but it's like
secular is the ghetto.
Like secular is like
street.
Just, like any type of music that's like sex, money, drug, any like just regular rock and roll secular music, hip hop, country, anything that's just not gospel. Just, I mean, that's just how I think about it. I don't know if that's really might be the definition, but I just think of secular music like anything that's not religious music. You know what I'm saying? Like, gospel and then secular music, I guess, would be. I don't really know. That's a good thing that I should search up to. So
that's good. That's good, man. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. 100%. So that's basically what I wanted to get down to with that question was how does that affect your work? Basically, you make hip hop, which stems from your ghetto part of your life 100%. And your family, and you're also later on in your life kind of mixing in your religious side of aspect of your life.
100. Because like one thing I noticed, like just being a rapper for so long, is like I listen to a lot of Christian music, and like it doesn't really like attract people. Like it's not. Sometimes it's just either so played out because you hear the same worship songs all the time, or maybe it's too slow or something. I want to show people like as a Christian artist, you know what I'm saying, because it's not always just gonna be gospel music. As a Christian artist, you know what I'm saying, just as an artist who is Christian, you know what I'm saying, I want to make music that's just weird, that's just something different. It could be hip hop. I just broke in with hip hop because hip hop is already breaking the barrier of what they consider to be
pop.
Like pop or like gospel music. Like they're like, wait, you can't do hip hop and gospel. Like those two words don't mix. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm like, God owns music. There is no music that belongs to anybody but God. Whether it be country or soul inspired. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's how we use hip hop. It's how we use country. It's how we use pop. It's how we use even classical or contemporary music. It's what we say on those songs that either bring glory to God or kind of lead people away from God. You know what I'm saying? So
that challenge is your cross to bear.
100%.
Dope.
And I'm not perfect. That's why I was like, like let me drop these tracks with Rapture and drop these tracks with a message from the Olive Grove, because this is stuff that people are not going to hear really much more later on in the future. I want to get into that groovy, soulful, gospel funk, you know what I'm saying? That stuff that's like, get it, something that's going to clap, clap, just something that's going to make you move. I want to start getting into that and just start getting into like, like that Kirk Franklin type vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I teach you waiting, I teach you patience. Drop that beat, I drop that heat. Disintegrated, yo, I can see myself as one of the greatest. There's no debating, now they hating, cause I'm a pro, major gamer.
So who are your biggest artistic influences? This is a good one.
Ooh, definitely Eminem would be number one, just because even though I grew up on like, Method Man, Wu-Tang, all this other stuff, I dug rap, but I never really pictured a white dude rapping. And to me, I was like, even though I was always rapping, and even though I would make up my own lyrics over rappers and start and like actually be pretty good at it, I never pictured a white dude rapping until Eminem came and just slaughtered the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then it was like, okay, this dude, he's a white dude, okay, boom, boom. Then I fell in love with, like other people, like even like grime rappers, like different types of other white rappers. I'm like, oh snap, like these people are actually doing it. Then all of a sudden, one of my cousins who also makes music, he went from, they used to call him Dopey. on the streets. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the Action All Stars, from the streets to the altar. You know what I'm saying? Now he does gospel music. Tough. And that's just like, you know, like, and he started rapping. I'm just like, bro, these guys are so good and they're white, like, maybe I do have a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because I always consider hip-hop, you know, black culture. Like, that's just what I always thought. Like, you know, I don't picture a black person doing merengue or making merengue.
I mean, it was. You know? But it transcended. It transcended to just culture, period.
Culture, period. You know what I'm saying? Because now
it took over.
It's not even just black culture. It's just whatever the newest culture right now that you're seeing in the world. They just made that up.
Yeah.
And now we're following this whole brand new culture that is completely different than what it even started at. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even say hip-hop is black culture anymore, because culture completely changed up when you had T-Pain with auto-tune and switched up the whole game. Now nobody's doing real rap. R&B is out of the question, all this other stuff. Like, you had so many artists getting mad. You know, now they're talking about...
It's the future. It's the future.
100%. Now they're not even talking about the hood anymore. They're talking about, like, whips, cars, and this and that. And then the next thing is going to be freaking Bitcoin and this and that. And that's going to be hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is hip-hop nowadays? So
that's good. You know, I like that, man. I like that.
You know, but yeah, like, there's a bunch of artists, man. Bizzle, freaking Lecrae, Andy Mineo, Eminem, obviously, number one. Royce the 5'9". Oh my God, I forget about Royce. Like, I would love to collab with that dude.
Okay.
Yeah, those are like a few little artists here.
All right. Where do you find inspiration? Like, in what? What do you do to get inspiration?
That's kind of like my superpower. I have the ability to feel energy, feel anything. Like, to me, everything is an instrumental. If someone comes at me aggressively, I tend to respond aggressively, because it's almost like an aggressive hip hop track. That boom, get boom, 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 get you want to be like, y'all coming up, you want to get aggressive. Everything to me is an instrumental. So the way I go into everything, like, usually, like, I'll hear an instrumental, and then I'll try to get into what the person who was making this was feeling, what they were thinking about doing this. Were they drinking coffee when they were making this? Were they smoking when they were making this? Were they, you know, what were they doing? What were they thinking? You know what I'm saying? And I can tell instantly what the track was, what it is. If it was a quick one, it was a fast one, it was something taking time, something. I could feel all that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a gift. Yeah.
You know, so it's like something like where I find my inspiration is like, man, when somebody's just real, when you could just feel love. You know what I'm saying? When the love is in the air and you're just in a good environment, it don't matter what comes on. I could feel that energy right there, and then just spit over whatever was making over the album or whatever was making. Or I can kind of replace energies. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's
everything is inspiration.
Everything is inspiration.
And everyone,
I can literally just
everyone around you, the energy that's around you at the moment.
Bruh, I could stub my toe, trip, and fall and look at it, like, and find a $10 bill on the floor. And I'm like, damn, boy, there goes my coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, where that moment inspired me. Not the $10, not the coffee, but like the fact that I actually stubbed my toe, I felt boom. And then I think about how the hell did that even happen, that I found this $10. Like, it's not even just like, it's just in any situation. Like, I try to find a purpose in absolutely every single little thing.
There's no such thing as coincidence. If it's coincidence, you question it.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's a universal thing.
100%. Usually that's how I know when something happens coincidentally, like me or someone say something at the same time or something. It's like, that's confirmation right there. You got, you know, you on a roll out here. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
What about like drugs? Do you do any drugs?
No, I used to be heavy into drugs. I still do smoke weed.
You find inspiration in that and smoking?
I do. Mostly it's because, you know, I have a lot of anxiety, a lot of PTSD just from a couple of situations in my past and just, you know, kind of my history and stuff. And I'm undiagnosed. I've never been to the doctor to just like go and figure me out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just always try to find the solution myself. Yeah. And weed has always been it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always use marijuana to get me at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? I can't smoke like during the day or something unless like I'm gonna be by the pool or the beach or something all day. You know, I'm not gonna be
or creating.
Yeah, or creating or something. You know, I'll smoke and, you know, I'll drink a little and I'll get filled with the energy and just get in my vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because I do have an old piece of me that finds pleasure in certain things. You know what I'm saying? That I know how, you know, how it makes me feel. I love the way I feel on these certain things. At the same time, I don't want to tell people, you know what I'm saying, like, go smoke because it's going to help you with your rapping and stuff like that. Because there's been times where I don't went years without smoking. You know what I'm saying? I had dreams. I started dreaming. I started remembering things more. I started realizing my words were crispy and stuff like that. And, you know, those things came when I got off of smoking and stuff. But now, you know, I smoke because, you know, I try to find pleasure in my things.
You're just as creative, but that doesn't mean you can't be as creative when you don't smoke.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. It's just like right now with the vibe, like these certain songs and stuff, I want to feel a certain vibe and stuff. And then, you know, I'll wait till I sober up to finish up the other certain songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what the song is about or, you know, how I feel in the moment. But usually I just stick to smoking and drinking. I don't really do anything else. I used to back in the day when I was like 16, 17. I used to do all the stuff. All the stuff. What stuff? All the stuff.
You can get as specific as you like.
Well, I used to be addicted to oxys and painkillers. You know, I used to pop like 2-3 a day. You know, it started off as 1 a day. And then I didn't even know what I was popping. I was just young. I was just popping it. You know, so, and then finally I tried to stop popping it, and I couldn't stop popping it, and then I started, like, indulging with 2. Loved the way that felt with a little drink here and there, and that got real bad. I started getting, like, attacked spiritually, because once I started realizing about God and stuff, like, I felt like the enemy was like, no, because I was bad. I could have been in the game right now, writing lyrics for any and everybody. I could have been John Bellion, you know what I'm saying? Freaking writing songs for any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, or Drake. You know, anybody. Or wait, who'd you say?
Ghostwriting.
Oh yeah, ghostwriting. I thought you said Drake. I was like Drake. I was like, I don't know if he writes all his. So what? You know. So I forgot what I was even saying with the ghostwriting.
You could have ghostwritten for anybody.
Oh, yeah. Like, I used to be bad secular artist. Like, all the music that you're hearing nowadays, like, I tell people, it's like audible porn, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like, you know, I still listen to it. I'm not judging nobody at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what it is, all for what it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, like, I don't do all the stuff that they say in those songs, or, like, I'm perfect, or this and that, you know, but it's like me, I think about kids and stuff like that, and then, you know, like, all of a sudden, you know, the little strings on my heart start playing, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you know what, like, these kids don't get a choice as to what they're listening to on the radio and all this other stuff, you know, they just get bombarded with slip when you drive, you know, drip when you slide in, and it's like, you know, like, all these different types of songs that they don't get a choice, you know, they just get hit with that, you know. That's so true. It's like, you know what?
You're trying to make a difference.
I'm gonna tell these artists what's good. Stop playing that, like, I mean, or, you know, at least be responsible for something positive out there. You know what I'm saying? Even if I can't convince the artist that the life they're living is, you know, like, whatever.
Do you find that confrontation is important in hip hop and in what you do?
If the person who's confronting me is actually seeking a result. Because if there's no result, if somebody just coming at me, just beef with me.
But what about you towards society, or towards like you said, towards those artists that are trying to put stuff on the radio that kids won't have a choice but to listen to?
Yeah.
So do you rebel against them? Do you make music that is confrontational towards them?
I wouldn't say confrontational, but I would, like, for example, if I was talking about myself and I was like, yo, Patchy, blah, 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 I'll say, yo, Patchy, I see you doing this, that, the third, but that's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? I would address it like what they're doing. I would address the facts, what they're doing. They're banging, they're speaking, boom. But I would also remind them. You ain't
disrespecting them, you just straight up.
Yeah, I'm just telling what it is, but I would also remind them that that's not who they are. And how they're acting is out of character. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a character to uphold. We're not here on this earth for whatever. We're only here for a blink of an eye. We're here just to visit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm gonna remind them of who they are to God. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself is confrontation, because I shine light on everything that is bad or anything that is sin, technically. You know what I'm saying? Which is why people get uncomfortable around God. Because when you start spitting the facts like, oh yeah, you are sleeping with 50 girls a day. They're getting 50 abortions a day. Now these guys, they're getting this, and they're just like all gangbang. Now diseases are going viral. It's like, that's what happens in those situations. You know what I'm saying? You can ask any rapper, like, there's not a situation where the rubbers aren't being used or something getting passed around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would call them out on that.
That's pretty that's pretty controversial right now.
You know but at the same time, I don't speak on things unless I'm living that myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of stuff I can't speak on, and even then, I'm not trying to say, like, oh, you guys are evil, you guys are Illuminati.
Nah, it's tough.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just
You're not being judgmental. You're not being judgmental.
I'm just letting them know, like, you guys can do 10 times better than this. Like, whatever life they think they're living right now, they can do 10 times, 100-fold with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, be God. You know what I'm saying? But getting that concept to people is still unbelievable. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? When they hear someone like me talking about it, they're like, oh, man, this guy's crazy. He's talking about God and Jesus and this. Like, but at the same time, I'm helping people find solutions to, you know, a lot of the problems that come with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you was in the hood, but how'd you get out of the hood?
They talking about that drill music right now. Hard body. They're criticizing it badly right now. That drill music in New York. They're saying that it's pretty much promoting all of the violence that's going on in New York recently. With all the gun violence and all the gun talk and all the gunplay and
with drill,
the murders that's happening and stuff. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't put it past them, man. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about drill music?
That's the thing. I never really knew the history of drill music. When I think of drill music, I think of like fraternities. You know what I'm saying? I think of the step team when they. Like, I guess because they call them drill teams, right?
That's what it used to be, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I think of. You know what I'm saying? So, when I hear that drill music, I think of, like, just, like, a lot of drum pockets, but, like, organized drum pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Cadence.
Like yeah. Like, very organized drum pockets. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You liking this beat?
Oh, man, this beat is fire. Always. Every beat you've been giving me is fire.
That's what's up, man.
That's been one I haven't liked.
All right, so let's do it then. Let's work on this joint. Yo, I like what
There's certain hums and buzzes in the song and the music and stuff that just gives you like, that gives you like, you know, I was listening to Wild 94.1. Shout out to the Wild 94.1 because I've been on the radio station like 5 times this week, just trying to get $500. So whatever, right? So I call them up and like I listen. They play the same top 40 every single day, right? And which is fine because I bump that literally while I'm door dashing or whatever for 6 hours. I bump that, right? And then all of a sudden I get out the car and I get back in the next day and I turn on the radio station. It's like instantly when I hear that radio, I'm like, ooh, okay, it's time to get going again. And it's like, ooh, what the heck was that? Like, okay, now I'm ready that the radio's on. You know what I'm saying? Like the radio turned on and it felt like, okay, I needed this. Like I was like almost having like a little withdrawal.
They're emitting certain energy, certain frequencies that are energetic.
Oh yeah. And from somebody who's went through withdrawals before, I can feel it on a spiritual level. What's like a spiritual withdrawal because I know with the physical, I'm not going through like a physical where like I need to listen to music. No, but it's like I could feel that spiritual because like I couldn't wait to turn on the radio to hear if I can win something else or like what time is it to call or you know or certain musics to come back on because now it's stuck in my head. You know what I'm saying? Woman, let me be your one. You know that song is like I'm out the window. Let me be your one. You know, don't get me started. You know what I'm saying?
It's dope.
But you know, it's like then I catch myself like, dang, like I really had like a little craving for this for a second. You know what I'm saying? Then I gotta go put on 88.1. Shout out to 88.1 with the gospel music. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Positive hits. You know? And I be bumping that to kind of break the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Because it does become like a habit after a while. You listen to the same music and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're craving that type of music. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
So your thing is create positive music, and hopefully that's what people are gonna want to bump and follow and just be like. And that's the legacy you want to leave behind, huh?
100%. At least if we can add one more person on top of like, let's say there's 10 people in the world doing positive music. If we could add one more, make it 11. Why not? If we could add another, make it 12. Why not? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep adding to this team because as long as generations keep being made, guys are always gonna have people coming and being that one more to have more positive to keep fighting because no matter what the fight is always going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm just happen to be alive in this generation and you know it's like guys like okay for your generation you just got to be another positive hip-hop artist, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about just let your actions be the message, you know what I'm saying? Amen. So it's like a lot of my music is fun. I like to invent. I like to just talk random topics. I like to get method acting and get into character and stuff too. But it's like my actions are gonna be everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I really love random people. I go out into the streets and I love people. You know, so eventually, you know, people will see that. You know, people will see it.
All right. Well, yo, I appreciate you for coming through, man. I appreciate you for answering these questions.
I appreciate
if people
you,
want to listen, if people want to know.
You already know. Yeah, I appreciate you, my bro.
Yeah, man. Nah, you the bomb. They're gonna listen to your stuff and the stuff, the album that we're working on right now. You know, let them know, man. Let them know how this journey's gonna be, man.
We're working on this album, Message from the Olive Grove.
We're already like 8 songs in. We're already like 8 tracks in.
Oh yeah, and we still got like 5 or 6 more to go. You know what I'm saying, or something like that.
Tough.
Probably even more because I got a lot of tracks. But yeah, Message from the Olive Grove. You know, they call me Patchy Oliva. You know what I'm saying? That's like the olive patch. You know, so.
Where can they find you?
What was that?
Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, CD Baby.
What's your name on Instagram?
Patchy Oliva. That's it.
Straight up.
Straight up Patchy Oliva. The one and only Patchy Oliva. You can type in Patchy Oliva, it's the only one that pops up.
Bet.
The one and only.
Bet.
So yeah, definitely search me up. You know, reach out. You know, just tell me what you want to see. You see my face, you see whatever, you see me doing crazy things. If you have ideas, just throw them on my comments, throw them into my thing. You know, I always try to take ideas and collaborate and just try to do, you know, what people love, you know, because I like to incorporate everybody into my thing. So a lot of these songs I took by asking random people questions and stuff like that about certain topics, and then I would get an answer and put them into my music, you know. So a lot of my music, I have to thank, you know, a lot of people around me and stuff.
That's what's up, man.
100%.
All right, my brother. Have a good one.
All right, bro.